Hey y'all, and welcome back. Going to discuss my journey with Virta. Yesterday was my first day, so it was day one for me on Virta. As I explained in my previous video, I am not pre-diabetic or diabetic, but my company opened Virta up for those of us who have a higher BMI, and that was me. So I decided to join. I am vegan and now doing keto. So we shall see how this goes. I'm cautiously optimistic. I did have my one-on-one with my coach a couple of days ago, and that went well. It was scheduled for 15 to 20 minutes, actually being more like 30. It was really good. She answered some of my questions about some other random foods that I had questions on. And she asked me my goals and stuff like that, so it was pretty straightforward. She provided some links to some articles about being vegan and keto, and I had seen those already, but it was helpful to know that she was trying to help. And at any point, I kind of mentioned beans and lentils being my primary source of protein up until this point, so she was like, hey, look, if something's not working, let me know. We can talk about, we can make adjustments. So it really does seem to be customizable, if you will, and I appreciate that. But I did wanted to give it the good old college. Let's just try with what they say. Let's try to go with their plan. So my official protocol is 13 ounces of protein per day, which equals 91 grams of protein per day, and no more than 30 carbs per day. And my understanding is the carbs is pretty standard. That's where they set almost everyone at on Virta when they first come in, I guess, unless you really want to customize it. So that's pretty low, but especially for a vegan. But again, I wanted to try, so I'm going to try that first. And the protein, I believe, is based on your gender and your height and weight or something like that. So pretty much almost. There's a chart somewhere. I didn't look at it because that's what they told me it was. That's why and I just double checked with her, and she was like, yeah, that's what it is. Cool, that's what we're going. So yesterday I knew what I wanted to eat, but I wasn't fully prepared. I didn't go grocery shopping to get everything that I needed. So I ended up fasting a bit in the morning, went grocery shopping, and then came home to eat breakfast. And so lunch was a little later, and dinner was a little later. It wasn't too crazy. I wasn't starving, which I think was a good sign, right? At least I'm not carved up and having all these cravings. But at the same time, I think I kind of was focused. That tends to be how I am when I start a new protocol. I tend to be focused. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this work. So that was helpful. And I did well. I didn't want to quote unquote cheat, or not eat something that wasn't on my protocol, and I was able to get through it. I did journal it, so I did write down what I ate, and then I was calculating the carbs and the protein again, just so I can know what to do. I don't want to use an app. I don't want to go that far into tracking. I want to just kind of be mindful and intentional with writing that down and then jotting my thoughts, which is what I did. So it was a great day. It was busy. I was still shuttling kids around. I was still attending events at the school. There was a Winter Wonderland kind of event at my kids, at my youngest school. And, they had all the goodies for the kids. And so I went there knowing I was not eating dinner till after I left, but I brought my water with me. And so I think that helped, right? Because I was just oh, just for a second, it's oh. And I said, no, you're gonna go home and eat. Drink this water. You're gonna go home and eat, right? So I wouldn't say I was overly tempted, but it was just a little slight little, normally I would go there and participate in something that was even vegan, they had Oreos, still vegan, but no, I'm not doing that. So I wasn't overly tempted. I took the time to, number one, catch up with some Verta articles when the kids were doing their thing. I met a new neighbor. So, it was just chilling, right? Which was helpful. So today I am going to try to stick to this plan. I think I've jotted out, last night I jotted out what I want to eat today, but I didn't put the protein and stuff together because it's a little more difficult, I guess, being a vegan. Like, you can't just say like, oh, a palm or a deck size full of fish, right? No, it's a Beyond Burger. So Beyond Burger is technically prepared. So I have to look to see what grams, you know what I mean? How much protein is that? Stuff like that. And I'm still trying to work through making sure I understand the grams to protein conversion, like this 1-to-7 conversion that happens for the protein. When I jotted down my protein yesterday, I think it looked like I was a little short. It looked like it was only 84 grams of protein when I should be aiming for 91. And then carbs, I counted 23.5, but I counted like all carb sources except for like the dip I had, and I think that's what you're supposed, and any condiments and oil and stuff like that, that's what you're supposed to do. So my understanding, my 30 grams of carbs is the max. 15 of that should be coming from low carb vegetables, and of that I should be aiming for like 5 servings, right? So 1 cup of fresh, a half a cup of cooked. There's 5 grams of carbs for nuts, so like a little palmful of nuts, and then there's 5 for full fat, right? So the mayonnaises and dressings and stuff like that, and then there's 5 for just a buffer, like again, like the oil. Like I used a little oil in the pan, like to cook my Beyond Burger. I didn't count the carbs there, but that's what the buffer is for. So we shall see. I don't know if I was over or under. I feel okay. It looked okay. And we're just gonna go with that until something says otherwise. So when I did the finger prick for ketones, I don't do it for glucose, I do it for ketones. And I did it for ketones yesterday morning, day 1 morning, I was 0.1. And then I did it this morning right before coming to do this video, and I was at 0.5. So my understanding is 0.5 is technically the start of nutritional ketosis. So yeah, hopefully, we'll see where we go from there. So I am still kind of fasting this morning, so I'm gonna go and look at my plan and make adjustments and write down the protein and stuff like that, so I make sure I'm hitting it. TMI, I did have a BM this morning. It came a little later than normal. I did wake up a little later, but it came a little later than normal, and not as straightforward as I would like. Again, TMI. But it wasn't bad. And they have a whole section. They're lots and lots of research, lots of articles to work through the physical and the mental and emotional stuff with Verta. So I'm really happy about that. So there was this whole article that was on my little pathway that I'm following, like this little coursework that I'm going through, that talked just about poop. And it just said, this is what you should be aiming for, and this is what you can do. So it was good to know. So excited about that. I think for the most part, I'm ready to go. I'm still cautiously optimistic. I know 30 grams of carbs, especially for a vegan, is low, but I want to try. Just focusing in on what they kind of say, and let's just see how my body reacts, knowing I can customize this and I can adjust it, and I can adjust my expectations. But I just kind of want to go in, just give it a good try. And so far it seems like that's working. So we'll keep at it. I really appreciate starting this on my day off. I've had off this whole week, and I think that helped not have the pressure of, I had to go grocery shopping yesterday, So in between running the kid around, I was able to get some grocery shopping done, not having to worry about, oh my gosh, I gotta get back home, oh my gosh, I gotta log in work. Didn't have to worry about that, and that was helpful. And even today, this morning, again, I can kind of take my time because, you know, I'm weighing in once a day. That's a requirement for me, and taking my ketones once a day. And so working the monitor and making sure the devices are syncing. Like, I've seen people, you know, with diabetes take their glucose all the time. Like, you know, my godmother was diabetic, so I definitely saw it, but it's totally different doing it yourself. Like, no, this is what you do, this is what you have to do. And again, pairing it, troubleshooting the scale. Again, it worked, no big deal, but just had to troubleshoot it once. So yeah, having less pressure is definitely helpful. So if you're looking to do Virtual or even, you know, some type of other program, I'd consider that. I'd consider like maybe starting on a weekend or a day that you have off. That way you can kind of get into the rhythm and not feel some additional pressures. But it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy to do. I just like not having the extra pressure. So again, cautiously optimistic. We'll see what happens. I'm going to try my best to start logging and or at least showing some of the foods that I'm having. I'm still trying to get my conversions and counts down, and I'm trying not to obsess about it either, right? Because I can do that, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to listen to my body as well. Like, no, you're full, it's okay. Or you're still learning, it's quite all right. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So if you see something, it should be low carb, but it might not like be hitting all the macros and stuff. But I do still want to share my journey. Take that with what you would. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna go try to make it work for today. I will keep you all posted. I did have a question about ketones and exercise. So if you're out there, if you do keto, or even if you're not vegan, just when's the best time to take your ketones? I'd like to take it in the morning. Like I'm a get it done straight in the morning, right? So my weigh in the morning, I would like to do my ketones in the morning, and then I would like to exercise. So I would like to do it in that order. I would like to take my ketones before I exercise. But should I be waiting longer? Because I'm going to get up and put my workout clothes on, take my weight, or use the restroom, take my weight, take my ketones, and go exercise. And then I'm going to go take my shower and get ready for work. That's how I normally would do it. But what do you think? What do you suggest? Curious to know your thoughts. Share your comments, questions, concerns in the comment section. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Ta-ta for now.